The currency of Canada, the Central Bank of Canada, Fed, would create and oversee the circulation of CBC, a form of publicly issued digital currency. Also, the whole federal government of the US would be on board with it. There are a lot of current payment methods that may be replaced with this. It would have several benefits, such as becoming the more than 130 nations have started creating their own digital currencies backed by their governments. These currencies will allow for quick payment, settlement, facilitate international transactions, and encourage broader financial inclusion. Pilot projects in India, Saudi Arabia, and Russia are joining those in China have been launched, and a digital euro pilot could launch as early as the 20th century. Even though more and more people are learning about the features of digital currency, the US is still behind the curve. These beautiful words were first spoken by the United States Congress. It should be really clear that the US Congress has explicitly said that XRP is legal to employ in the US. All kinds of financial organizations are a part of this. It is a huge step forward when major financial institutions around the world, including the US Federal Reserve, support XRP for international and local transactions. Just why does this matter? It is recognized by Congress in the US that the world is changing. Brazil, India, and a few other countries using Ripple's XRP ledger. Several countries, including China, are moving closer to launching digital currencies issued by their central banks. It is not something the US wants to happen. Stemming from this pattern, well, you're absolutely right, Ripple. The question is if you can identify the company they're collaborating with. Hello and welcome to HelpCoin. We are delighted you have decided to visit our site in your search for information on XRP, the digital currency of the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. South Africa and China have progressed via a joint endeavor involving these nations. The US is also in the same situation. To illustrate my point, I have a video that goes all the way back to 2015 that discusses CBDCs and talks about them between Ripple and the US Federal Reserve. But even though Ripple and the SEC are in the middle of some public disputes, this setting emphasizes the covert joint operations between Ripple and the US. The fact that Ripple was cooperating gave the SEC every reason to believe that the business would come out on top in their lawsuit. Recall when Ripple demoed the FedNAB platform too, though the Federal Reserve did not explicitly acknowledge it in their 2015 system release. Further study has revealed clues that point to their involvement. As the prospect of such a collaboration was being considered by Reserve. The potential use of Ripple by the Federal Reserve of the USA has been raised by Gary Gensler on several occasions. Gensler has expressed faith in the Federal Reserve's plans to incorporate XRP and Ripple into its payment system for both local and international transactions. Even prior to his current appointment, this occurred during the height of the SEC's investigation against Ripple. The next step is to jump ahead in time to the most current events. An important milestone is the formal joining of the FedNet payment system by Riverbank, a big Ripple payment partner that uses the RippleNet system. Sure, I'll break it down for you. We're more than simply a bank beside the river. The XCurrent and XRP technologies offered by Ripplet, XRP, and its ledger are leveraged by both of these platforms to offer on-demand liquidity, and it uses these technologies as a payment facilitator. With Riverbank now part of FedNet, it's obvious that XRapid, XCurrent, and Ripplet all play a role in what lies ahead. So it seems like the FedNet payment system is all set to use XRP to meet its liquidity needs for global transactions. This leads us to believe that XRP's value will rise in tandem with the expanding scope of its applications and usage. This is good news if you are a current XRP holder and are keeping an eye on, in return for the money you put in, much more than just acknowledging the cryptocurrency's power. There is a huge opportunity with the integration of XRP into traditional financial institutions. Conventional banking institutions are starting to understand the efficiency, speed, and cost of this new paradigm, and it's changing the world of global finance. Efficiency of blockchain systems like Ripple's, institutions like Riverbank, and Gary Gendler's backing are just the beginning. As more and more financial institutions learn about and use XRP and related technology, the sector as a whole will feel the effects. In the antechamber to any, in addition, if you've been following me, you're in for some really amazing news. Here I am hosting a giveaway of XRP. Following these 3 simple steps will allow you to take part. Of course, approve of this video, tap the button that says subscribe, make this movie available to your friends and family by turning on notifications and sharing it on your network. When choosing the fortunate victor, I am going to make sure these steps have been taken, and I hope everyone has the best of luck. With 60,000 subscribers under our belts, we'll reveal the victor. Come on, let's get back to the main point. The worth of XRP and its increasing importance. We have already covered the topic of the interest that the U.S. Federal Reserve has among its adherents and the widespread American preference for it. Nevertheless, XRP's capabilities are being studied by a number of governments, including the Brexations and even the European Union through its digital euro program. So it's not just the US that is starting to see its potential. With a more view our movies that are dedicated to these topics for an in-depth examination of how XRP is being integrated into the digital euro project in Europe and the CBDC that the VX nations have suggested. The US is keen on exploring the possibility of a CBDC using XRP, as we covered in a separate video, and they are also want to employ technology to facilitate effective cross-border transactions. CBDCs are not the sole businesses that fit this description. Actually, it covers a wide range of financial activities, both at home and abroad. Let's find out what this means for the future of XRP's value. The intrinsic worth of XRP will inevitably be affected by the increasing adoption of the digital currency, especially by major financial institutions as the Federal Reserve. An essential component of determining a cryptocurrency's worth is the value it adds to the user's life. A digital asset like XRP has several uses beyond just its transactional ones. Produces results when incorporated into major banking organizations. Confidence and legitimacy in the long run are also important considerations. With digital transactions quickly becoming the norm and a growing desire for cross-border transactions that are both fast and cost-effective, the global financial landscape is experiencing a period of fast development. Consequently, the cryptocurrency's pivotal function, especially that of proven usefulness tokens like XRP, the support of major financial institutions and economies might be the spark that propels XRP to the next level. For supporters and financiers, this is a pivotal time, the future of XRP, considering the current integrations and endorsements it has garnered suggest that what lies next